So Towcester have announced that they will home every single greyhound that races at their track, and they're going to do so by teaming up with the Greyhound Trust Hall Green, which has two branches. One is the Watford Gap Kennels in Sutton Coldfield, and also here, this is Broad Marsh in Stourbridge. It's all overseen by chair volunteer Tracy Parbury. We've come here today to find out more about every greyhound at Towcester, eventually finding their forever home.
The Greyhound Trust contacted us obviously with the closure of Hall Green Stadium and asked us to work with Towcester, and one of the big things that they announced was that they were going to home every greyhound, and we're up for that. I mean, at the end of the day, as a branch, we want to do the best we can do for every greyhound that comes in here, and if Towcester are going to do that, then we're going to be behind them and sorting it out for them and getting these dogs homed.
So how will it work with you and Towcester, the relationship?
I think that basically I'm meeting with the trainers and owners on a regular basis so that I can get to know them, and obviously we can look at the dogs and make sure that we ensure that the greyhounds come into us in the best condition they can possibly be in. I believe Towcester are going to do that as well. They've got welfare systems being set up in place. They've got, I believe, their own vet now. So every possible way that we can ensure that these greyhounds that race, so who come to us, are going to be well looked after is being covered by both us and the track.
And is it achievable that Towcester will home every greyhound?
Who knows? It is all about, you know, getting these greyhounds homed, and the only thing I can say as a branch is if we're set a target, we'll do our best. Obviously, it is down to the public to start to give these dogs a chance. It's still very new out there. There are still a lot of people who don't believe greyhounds can make great pets. It's down to us as a branch. It's down to the Greyhound Trust to get the message out there that instead of taking on a very expensive dog, come and have a look at the greyhounds in the branches that are around the country and give the greyhounds a chance.
So to the Towcester owners and trainers watching this, let me tell you, your dogs that end up here at Broad Marsh are going to be very lucky with a plethora of facilities to pamper to their every need before they eventually hit the sofa.
Broad Marsh is just outside Stourbridge and is actually a boarding kennels and cattery. We've been here now 3 to 4 years, and we're working with Broad Marsh to improve obviously the conditions of the greyhounds that live here. We've got 25 greyhounds at our Watford Gap Kennels near Lichfield and 15 that come across here. We have volunteers come to Broad Marsh every day and help us with the greyhounds to socialise them and walk them.
And it's very much a team, isn't it, between yourselves and the actual staff who work in the boarding kennels of Broad Marsh?
It is, yes. We have a really good working relationship with them all. They know our greyhounds really, really well, and we know what their routines are, but there's a lot of flexibility. If we need something from them, they provide it. Likewise, if we can do something to help out, we will. It's a really good team working environment.
It's a brilliant setup here, isn't it? As you would expect of paying boarders of other breeds of dogs, the greyhounds get that treatment here as well. They're very lucky.
Yeah, they do love the paddocks, and particularly in the nice weather, it's absolutely superb for them to be able to have that run around and run free off their lead. But they do get walks every day. They go off site so that they can start to walk on hard ground to harden off their pads before they're homed. They're off site usually for a walk for about 30 to 40 minutes. Some of them will also go off site for a whole day out, whether that be with a volunteer or as part of an awareness event. So they'll go and maybe spend the day in somebody's home, maybe go to the pub or a cafe for lunch to get that kind of social experience. And obviously we'll take them a lot to things like carnivals and fetes and pet stores and all that kind of thing, which is good because they get to mix with other breeds and see lots of families and young children playing as well, which they need to get used to before they're homed.
The main thing for us is to ensure that the greyhounds can get a home, and the only way we can do that is to ensure that the way that the greyhounds are treated, the welfare of them is second to none, so that when we home a greyhound, we know it's the best it can be when it goes to a new home.
They get to use the grooming parlour on a fairly regular basis, which means they can be showered if they need to be. They can be, groomed in a quite professional environment. We do lots of day-to-day care with them, so they will be groomed regularly. They'll have their teeth brushed daily and they have their teeth scraped weekly.
It's nice having the runs here as well, because I'm guessing it teaches the greyhounds the difference between indoors and outdoors before they go home.
That's right, yes, and it means that they are able to get quite a bit of exercise whilst they're here. They do start to get used to not just having to sleep on their bed all day apart from when they are out. And of course they can see each other and quite often will run up and down the runs together playing and being very happy together.
There's the benefit here as well, of course, with it being a boarding kennels and cattery, that they get to see other breeds of dogs and cats as well.
Absolutely. We've got a resident cat called Spooky who often surprises us and the dogs, so we have to be a bit aware of that. We've got a cattery that they go past every day. And the good thing is, obviously, from the boarding side, they're obviously seeing other dogs all the time because there's different dogs coming in and out. So we're able to do a bit of socialisation without even taking them off the site. But the main thing with us is that as volunteers, we actually encourage our volunteers to take them off-site. So they go into parks. Some of our volunteers take them home for the day so that we can get to know the personalities of the greyhounds and take it from there so that we can home them.
And you're very proactive in homing your greyhounds, and things are going really well for you here, aren't they?
Absolutely. We homed 191 greyhounds to the end of 2017, and by mid-February we will have homed 30. I've just brought 14 greyhounds in, so those are literally off the list into the kennels in a week. It's what it's all about. It's about the volunteers, it's about working together. We're all volunteers, none of us get paid. We do this because we love it.
You've also got a close working relationship with your sister branch at Watford Gap and the volunteers there.
We have, yes. The dogs that come in from the trainers initially go into our Watford Gap kennels and they have a health check, and they have got some real greyhound experts over there that can do that for us. We work as one team as volunteers, so some of us will work at both sites, but the dogs will be in there first, and then dependent on numbers and that kind of thing, we move dogs over then to Broad Marsh kennels. We will have all the information that the Watford Gap volunteers have amalgamated about each dog, so that we've already started to build up a profile of what their likes and dislikes are and their characteristics before they actually come over to here, so that we can then continue with that.
Is this a really rewarding job for you?
It is, it's absolutely brilliant. I'll never ever forget the first day I homed a greyhound to someone. It was absolutely special, and it continues to be special. Every greyhound that goes out of here successfully is a real success for us, and it gives us all a great pleasure to do that.
And just finally, the commitment that Towcester have made to home every dog, is that something you'd like to see from more tracks? Do you think that's heading in the right direction?
You know, my answer is every greyhound should have a home. So I put a challenge out there to all the tracks. Yeah, you know, you have to do something to ensure that the greyhounds are given a chance, and that every dog, where possible, can be given a home. And if Towcester are the start of that, and we are the branch, along with, I believe, Greyhound Trust Dudley, and a few of the branches who are going to do that and achieve that, then so be it. We will be there.